Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Bzun. This is kind of an update to a previous video I made where I said we would kind of see this $32 to $34 level before then bouncing and actually seeing new highs. And I had said we'd see this $32 to $34 level because we were kind of building out a short-term ABC wave here, and we were breaking down out of this bear flag back here. The 138.2% extension of this bear flag was sitting at about 34, and the 161.8% extension was sitting right at about 32. I'd mentioned that we most likely see these levels, then reverse higher, and actually break out to these previous highs we had back here. Still think that happens, and as I mentioned, I would look to buy at this $32 to $34 area. Longer term, I think you can actually take a position here, use this $22 level here as your stop loss, and I think we could see as high as over 100 a share. I do think this is a long-term ABC wave here after completing a 5-wave cycle higher, so I do think we get another kind of 5 waves higher into like 2022 to 2023 where we see actually over 100 a share on this name. Longer term, it's in this kind of falling wedge. So my long-term target would basically be the 161.8% extension of this long-term ABC wave we have right here. As on a short-term basis, as I said, I think we see this $32 level, reverse off of it, and actually see these previous highs back here. This is basically the same chart I showed in my first video on this stock, and I'm kind of just reiterating my points because it's come into this demand level down here, and now I think you have a good risk-reward entry to take a position. So on a short-term basis, the way you can trade this is you can actually take a position right now, and you can use this kind of pivot we have right here as your stop loss on the candle before yesterday's, and I think this could be a decent trade. So in this case, I would basically look to stop out if the price falls below 32.08. I think this is a good trade on a short-term basis. Even buying here at 34, you're only risking about 2 points. And I think on a short-term basis, we could see a move to about 56.99. That's kind of the 161.8% extension of this short-term ABC wave we have back here. That's usually what you're going to get a move to once you break out of a range. Same way we got to move to that 161.8% extension when we broke down out of that bear flag. Gonna see the same thing except to the upside now, since it's completed its cycle lower. So right now you have a good risk-reward entry. You can kind of buy here at 34, use 32 as your stop loss, and I think we get a move to about 56.99. In this case, you have an amazing risk reward, over a 1 to 10 risk reward. You're only risking about 2 points for about 22 points, so you've got about a 1 to 11 risk reward in this trade. I think there's a very high chance we see that 161.8% extension at 57, kind of build out this long-term third wave, then kind of consolidate, and then see a push over that third wave and actually back to all-time highs. Longer term, I do actually believe we break over those all-time highs, and I think now if you're looking to get into a long-term position in this stock, you'll never get a better entry than right now. Now, before I ended this video, I wanted to hop over to the options chain and kind of discuss a couple trades that I think have a really good risk-reward trade for options. So as I said, I think we kind of see 56.99 over the next few months. So I think these kind of April 16th, 2021 calls have a really good risk-reward on these $50 calls. If you can fill in these $50 calls at about 1 in premium, I think these could see as high as about 7 in premium. So you've got about a 1 to 7 risk-reward in this case. The way I go around trading options is I limit myself to 5% portfolio risk per option trade. So that means if I have a $10,000 account, that way you kind of limit your risk, and you want to keep your options trades separate from your equity trades. That way you never really end up utilizing margin or anything like that to make some really bad decisions. But I totally think this is a great options trade here. 1 to 7 risk reward. I'll most likely try and take these $50 calls if I can fill it 1 in premium. And I would look to trim half into that $53 level, which is the 138.2% extension of that ABC wave. That's going to be your first supply zone. I'd look to trim half there and then sell the rest into that 161.8% extension, sitting right at about 57. That's the way I'd go around trading this. You could also just outright buy the equity. Totally fine doing that. But I did just want to highlight this trade because I think it has a really good risk-reward trade. You can fill on these $50 calls at 1 in premium. I think it'd be a great entry, and I think these could see as high as about 7 to 8 in premium. If you're looking for a long-term position or leaps, I also really like these January 2022 calls. I like the $60 calls here. I think this could potentially even see as high as 40 in premium if we do manage to get there before kind of 2021. Like I said, longer term, I do think the stock goes over 100 a share. I think now's a great entry to buy leaps if you're looking to buy them. And this has about a 1 to 20 risk to reward in it. I think we see over 100 a share, which is kind of the 161.8% extension of that falling wedge we have. And yeah, I think this has a great risk to reward. I really think anything under 4 in premium here is a buy. So fill at around 2 in premium would be amazing here. Anyways, that's kind of my views on this stock. Kind of like I said before, I'd look to kind of buy right here, use that recent pivot we have as a stop loss, trim half into that 138.2% extension sitting at 53.72, and then raise your stop to break even and ride the rest to about 57.41 before then selling the rest. Longer term, you can just trim half into that 57 level and then just raise your stop to break even and ride this higher. And both of those would make for great trades. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video and it helped you out in some sort of way, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.